Hi everyone, welcome back to Phoenix Awakened. I'm your host Jason.
And I'm Alison.
Welcome back to another podcast. It's going to be very exciting. Alison's going to talk about...
Well, we're going to share our perception on karma, really.
Karma.
Yeah.
But she's going to take it away first because she's done some research on the ancient meaning of karma. Is that correct?
Yeah. We have our own perception of karma. We also have an understanding of what other people have also perceived to be karma.
And my teachings of karma too when I was a student.
Yeah, exactly.
Very interesting.
And also the ancient concept of what karma is. It's a Sanskrit meaning or word meaning action, work or deed and its effects or consequences. In the Indian religion, it specifically refers to the principle of cause and effect. And every time I read cause and effect, always reminds me of the Matrix movie where the French guy, I think it was the second one, Revolution. I can't remember which Matrix one. I think it was the second one where they're talking to the French dude and he talks about cause and effect. Always reminds me of that, where you do something and you have the effect or the cause, the outcome of that situation. That is, I feel like that is the ancient form like the ancient understanding of what karma is actually all about. It's really about cause and effect. That's their perception of it.
Yeah, it's fascinating stuff, karma.
It is a fascinating stuff. Would you like to share?
I just started kissing the microphone. Sorry, everyone.
I don't know what he just did. He just kissed the microphone.
It's my friend. Bloopers.
Okay.
So karma pretty much is what goes around comes around. That's what the perception of karma is. So if you do a good deed, people believe you're going to get a good deed back to you.
Going back to karma being cause and effect or the consequence or action or deed that a person does. There's different meanings, there's different understandings, there's our perception and there's a lot of different perceptions out there as well. What are your perceptions on it?
My perception is, it's not so much my perception now, but before, like a long time ago, if I do good things will come back to me. If I do something mean, then mean things will come back to me.
Yep.
And I've been told this even as a kid. My mother will say, that person will get his or her own back because when they do something mean or wrong, God will pay them back.
Yeah.
So that's the so-called God that, is the judge and jury and executioner. So is karma in a way being set up to keep us all in alignment, in a line? Like, because we're perceived to be, many races perceive us to be children. So, and also we're being programmed a certain way, which is, in a way, it is, if you're doing bad stuff to people, it has to come back on a level to you, doesn't it?
Well,
you attract the similar experience back to you to give you a learning about what you're doing isn't at the right frequency.
But is that a belief that has been passed down from generation to generation? Because that can also come down to, I'm getting the movie Little Buddha, where the Tibetans say that you go through many lifetimes for your evolution. Is that also part of the karma thing too?
Quite possibly, yeah. Yeah.
And again, is it something that's actually just been perceived to pass down or told to children of times past to keep them in line?
Yep, like Father Christmas. If you're naughty, Father Christmas won't give you any gifts. If you're nice, you're on his good list.
So, yeah, you actually ask a really interesting question. Is it something that has been passed down on humanity to keep us all in line? So that we don't do bad things, which again, don't do bad things to people.
No. I like what we say sometimes is the law of one.
Yeah.
When you harm one, you harm all.
Yeah. When one is healed, all is healed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we are all one at the end of the day.
Yeah. So that is actually a really interesting question. Is it something that has been passed down to keep us in line, or does it actually really exist? Or does it exist at all? And it only exists because everyone believes it.
Well, it's now become such a big collective thing.
So therefore it will exist because it's a collective thing.
Yeah.
And if you don't believe in it, does it actually exist for the individual?
So therefore you step into the space of neutrality then.
Yeah.
You're better off being neutral not seeing things for right or wrong, because that's what karma really is about a level, isn't it?
Yeah, because if you go back to the Sanskrit meaning, it's about cause and effect according to Indian religion. So if you do something to a person, therefore there's going to be a cause and effect, the outcome of that person. The research that I was doing that someone explained is that if you do something bad to a person, then the universe is going to balance out that experience for the person. If you do something good to a person, again, it'll balance out that experience.
So therefore, also, it's all frequency based as well. Again,
Yeah, I guess it is.
yeah.
And
So is it a frequency match?
possibly. One of the other things that I also found on the Indian religion is that it's about rebirthing. Good deeds equal good karma, which leads to good life experiences. Bad deeds lead to bad karma, which leads to bad life experiences or bad future lives. Again, the whole rebirthing Tibetan belief of reincarnation.
Okay.
If you do bad things in a life, therefore your future lives will have bad deeds or bad experiences because you would probably have to balance out, like they said, you're going to have to balance out or heal that bad experience. If you do a good deed, then your future lives will be good.
Yeah, so if you have a lifetime where you've done your best and you've done nothing but good things, and you come back and get recycled again back into another lifetime, you will receive. So what you sow is what you reap.
Yeah. Again, is just something that has been implanted for people, because I'm getting my perception of, again, going back to the original ball of energy that we are, we all have fractalized versions of ourselves. Therefore, there will be versions or fractalized versions of us that are actually doing things that they need to experience. We're doing things that we need to experience. We heal ourselves. We heal them. I guess I find it hard, this reincarnation thing. I do find it hard because for me, everything is all happening in the one moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you're trying to say and explain is, at a point of view, is entanglements.
Yeah.
So it can be on another level of being entangled.
Yeah.
Either through a higher frequency or not so much a higher frequency. And whatever frequency because we talked about this with matrix reflecting back to us. So if that's the case, then it's all, again, comes back down to on a level frequency based. So if you had a high frequency, a good frequency per se, you'll get that back.
Yeah, I guess that's what happens. That's our perception of it. Or I guess that's the perception of, the generalized perception of karma. Whatever you do, you'll get back. So if you do bad things, you get bad things back again.
So that tells me, so let's just use politicians as a really good archetype.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a lot of politicians doing some really nasty stuff.
Does that mean that their future lives are going to be bad?
Well, let's just use the moment in time where a lot of politicians are doing some really not nice stuff, and they still are perceived living the high life. Where's the karma in that?
Exactly. So therefore, does it actually exist? And does it only exist because, and I do not mean to...
Because it comes back down to belief of systems.
Exactly.
Programming.
Exactly. Does karma actually exist because someone... Okay. Does it actually exist because a person has had a bad experience, whether it be mental, physical, whatever, and therefore they are wanting justice served?
So you're saying that karma can be like a justice system?
Yes. And I feel that a lot of people place karma in the justice system because they feel like they need to be vindicated. Because this person's done wrong to me, therefore I want them to get wrong back.
An eye for an eye.
Exactly. Instead of coming from a place of neutrality, like you said. Yet it can be really difficult, especially if you are, let's say, the victim of wrongdoing.
And an eye for an eye goes back down to the base chakra or the animal state.
The primal state.
Yeah. So it's not a highly evolved system.
Where a higher perception would be, like we said, things happen. They're doing their thing. We're doing our thing. Yet does that entail that if you're at a higher frequency, let's say, that bad things won't happen to you?
Because that's what we've said in another another video, another podcast, the matrix reflects back to you depending on the frequency you're at.
Yeah, exactly.
But at the same time, is your script also stating that that's the experience that you need to be learning as well?
Well, yeah, that's another thing as well.
Because there's many levels to this.
Yeah, again, coming back to the chess game. There are many levels of the chess game.
Can I throw in a completely different thing on this?
Yeah, absolutely.
So when I was a student, once again, we did in class for 2 years, pretty much every week, the teacher would say, okay, she said that we worked with the karmic lords, which were meant to be a panel of ascendant masters, approximately 7 of them. I'm not going to mention the ascendant masters. And this has a weird connotation because not everybody believes in the ascendant masters, real, not real. If it's a matrix game, they're not real, whatever it is. But in that timeline, we had to call up our karma every week and something would play out for us to rectify, heal it or clear it. And we would have to go to the karmic lords, the panel of the karmic lords to do whatever, which was a bit overwhelming. Well, it was literally a panel of, per se, judges. And they would say, well, that's part of your learning. That's what you're here to learn. And your job is to clear it. And then we talked about this particular teacher would channel the cat being from Andromeda. And she said that most of us have cleared quite a lot of our karma over the last 2 years. And she said the important thing is not to create any more new karma. So keep your nose clean, everyone.
Yeah.
Be careful what you do, the choices you make, all that sort of jazz. Back then, it made a lot of sense. And I sort of still get it on a level.
I kind of get it on a level as well, yeah.
Positive choices and positive actions and stuff like that. And then I did a lot of work. I did do a lot of work with the Ascendant Masters. I've got to be honest. When I was young, I got into the Ascendant Masters.
Yeah.
To a point where I did start to channel a Germain.
Yeah.
Saint Germain is known as Saint Germain. And I did a lot of work with the Violet Flame. Because the violet flame was meant to be to transmute and transform all karma. And I was told that to be an ascendant master, you had to clear 70% of your karma. I feel that's a bit of a carrot on a string. The reason why I say that is because if karma is true and it is real, it can be quite easily to create more karma without even you knowing it.
I mean, you could step on the ants and create karma.
Because it goes back down to entanglement, I believe now. And keeping yourself not entangled. But for some reason, as we both experienced, we did a lot of clearing on entanglements. The game, the matrix, whatever the chessboard moves, tried to get us back entangled so we couldn't move forward. Call it karma, whatever. It's a very interesting thing to navigate around. And perhaps neutrality might be the biggest key or code to this realm.
One of them,
yeah.
Yeah.
And also, every game has rules. And maybe that's one of the rules of this Matrix game, and it's called karma. So it's all food for thought. It's all very interesting systems, beliefs, programmings, what is true, what's not true.
Well, I was actually just reading my notes, and one of the notes where you actually have said, the notes here is to heal the actions of the past and to balance out the present for the future to be good. And also that karma is neither good nor bad. It's just the label that people put on it.
Which goes back down to neutrality.
Again, yes. Which goes back to just being energy. That's all it is. And I still put it down to the fact that, because like everyone talks about karma, it's always bad karma. It's never actually good karma.
That's pretty much the gist of it, really.
Yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
like karma can only be bad. You can't actually have good karma. If karma is just energy, then that means that energy is only bad. And therefore, I still bring it back down to that people who want to be vindicated, that can't see the neutral perception on anything, want to be vindicated and therefore use karma as a way of having revenge.
Yeah.
That's my perception.
Yeah, that's right. Because when something gets done to you, that's hurt you or whatever, there's a part of you that wants them to get it back.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas if you have something good happen to you, people don't generally have the perception of something good happening back to that person. No. Because
I'm getting jealousy.
Yeah.
So say, for example, using the word karma, somebody is doing really good stuff and they create and they step into the reality they want to get to. They've created good karma.
Yeah.
Most people are going to try to rip them down, aren't
Yeah,
they?
exactly. Because of jealousy, because that person feels that possibly the other person shouldn't deserve such goodness in their life, that the one who's jealous deserves the goodness.
They've cheated, they've lied, done deals.
Yeah.
So are we just a jealous race? Envious, jealous children?
The possibility. And have we been bred to be that way?
Yeah, of course, because you can only get taught. I mean, your teachers are your parents.
Mm-hmm.
That's the inner circle. And then, teachers and...
And also because apparently there only can be a certain amount of stars. Not everyone can be a star. So therefore it creates more jealousy, more envy energy, more yearning to want to be a star. And then going back to the Elvis video that we're talking about, wanting love. So not actually creating your own love. I know we've gone slightly off topic of karma, but it is kind of related at the same time as well.
As we call it, one big tapestry.
Yeah.
I didn't think we were going to be talking about a lot of the stuff that we're talking about now. So it's really interesting how as we're talking, all these other things are coming up.
And one of the questions that I've got here is karma connected to being entangled? We did touch on that.
Yeah.
Is the entanglement that we are actually that we are freeing ourselves from, actually freeing ourselves from the perceived karma?
Yeah. On a level, big possibility.
Because realistically, what we're doing is we're just
untangling
the ball of wool, untangling the wall.
The wool?
That's it. Untangling the wool, that just to make it a nice, clean string.
And we've done it with timelines too.
Yeah.
Working on straightening timelines. Like if you see a timeline which is straight and there's a knot in it.
Yeah.
In the past.
Like
untangling
it,
the
or
knot.
Sometimes we've clipped it and then joined it together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's so many energies that want us to keep entangled, which is connected to the drama.
Yeah.
So karma drama.
Yeah.
Drama karma.
Yeah. Actually.
Keep everybody in drama.
So therefore there's karma.
And keep everybody all lost in this thing, can't get out, can't see clearly, always lost in the emotion of it. I'm going to hurt him because he's hurt me. And
again, going back to the negative part of it.
Yeah, looping, so nobody ever leaves.
No, because one of the things that I believe in, that when you leave this place, you leave this place with no regret. And you clear up, if we do have karma, you make peace with the things that you've done, Can we talk about the perception of no karma at all?
Well, some believe the karma does not exist.
And would that come back down to what we just discussed before of being neutral, being outside the box, not being caught up in the box of karma?
Yeah.
This has happened. Okay, this has happened.
Being of the game, but not in the game. Being the observer.
No, being in the game, not of the game.
Yeah, being in the game, not
of the game.
Of the game.
Yeah.
Did I say the opposite way around?
Yeah, you did.
Oopsie. Thanks for rectifying that.
You're playing the game. You're not entrenched in the game.
My teachers used to say to me, Jason, you come through your family, you're not of your family.
Yeah, exactly. So again, does that mean if you come through your family and you're not of your family, do you carry their stuff?
Yeah, unfortunately, that's stuff that's got to be cleared. That's the mother-father pattern. We've talked about this before on the podcast.
Yeah, that's why I thought I'd bring it up, because of the way it was, because you come through your family, again, you're playing in the game. You're not of your family, you're not of the game.
I think we talked about this in the reincarnation cycle with the phoenix.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we mentioned that from memory. So maybe check out that video, the reincarnation cycle.
Because we have listened to a lady who spoke about the Matrix game 5-6 years ago. Amazing stuff. Really amazing stuff, her early stuff. And she had the perception that karma does not exist.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think she even did some sort of meditation cut cords or disconnect yourself from karma.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Because her perception is being neutral is the best place to be. And therefore karma doesn't exist if you're neutral. However, there are 7 strategies if you do believe in karma. So if you are wanting to remove your bad karma, the 7 strategies are: identify what your karma is.
Okay.
Sounds easier than what could actually happen, because how can you identify what your karma is?
Gotta be smart.
I mean, what if... Okay, going back to the movie Little Buddha with Keanu Reeves in. One of the Tibetan monks was telling the students a story about a man who wanted to sacrifice a goat. And the goat started speaking English. And the man or the priest got so scared, and the goat just laughed at him and said, because the goat was like him thousands of years ago who also sacrificed a goat. And so therefore that goat's or person's karma was to become the goat, to be sacrificed.
That's loop again.
Yeah, exactly. And then he also like shed a tear for the priest to say that, I can't exactly remember the whole thing, but that was going back to the Tibetan story of it. How do you know what your karma is if we keep getting re-looped and forgetting all the time we come back?
And you've only got a limited time each lifetime, don't you?
Exactly. Average 80 years. Average. And that's if you even believe that any of this exists anyway. So therefore, step 1, identify your karma. Step 2, sever ties to toxic people. That's probably easier than identifying your karma.
Yeah, because you just like, that person's not good to be around. I love you, but I can't be in your toxic shit. And we've both have had to do this as well. Just like, yeah, we love you, but we have to let you go.
So that's step 2. Step 3 is learn from and take responsibility for your own mistakes. I feel like sometimes that can be a really hard thing to do.
Well, I guess you've got to acknowledge if you have made a mistake.
Yeah.
Because you might feel, I haven't made a mistake. I've done nothing wrong.
Well, that's a good point.
I don't have to apologise for no one.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point. So it really comes down to if the person feels like they've made a mistake.
Yeah, so perception.
Yeah. Step 4 is to perform actions that nourish your spirit and evoke well-being on every level. I like that one. I like that one because it comes down to doing what brings your heart joy. So that is step 4.
Can I just, what I'm getting at the moment?
Yeah.
Before you do the next step, it's pretty much you do to others what you would like others to do to you.
So that comes down back to the 10 Commandments.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I'm nice to you, you're going to be nice back to me, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. Because why
if I'm mean to you and just really trashing you and really like mean and beating you up, and you're going to probably want to do that back.
Well, I think that comes down to how well your own perception and how much you have grown as a person. Because as soon as you said that, I got again the Little Buddha movie where Buddha had to come into understanding of compassion. And again, I was actually watching a Kung Fu Panda short where, I don't know if any of you guys have watched Kung Fu Panda. And
everybody watch that.
I mean, seriously, if you haven't watched Kung Fu Panda, you need to watch it. It's a good movie where Oogway, the turtle, and Monkey was like battling all these people and pulling their pants down, and everyone was laughing. Then Oogway comes in. Oogway is like the incredible master, understands everything. Monkey starts attacking Oogway. They do their little fight. Monkey falls over and his pants fall down, and everyone actually laughs at him. No, actually, Monkey slips over and everyone laughs at him, kind of thing. And then Oogway said that he sensed great warrior in him, but also great pain. And it flipped to Monkey's memory of when his pants fell down and everyone laughed at him. Monkey said, I'll leave. And Oogway said, no, don't go, stay and receive the one thing that was never given to him. And Monkey thought it was his pants. He was like, no. Oogway's like compassion. And I want to get I'm feeling very emotional.
Yeah, compassion, that's a good one.
So compassion, going back to what you said before, yes, I think their first initial instinct and emotional instinct of being hurt is to hurt back.
Yes.
However, if you have grown within yourself
to have compassion
and maybe an understanding that person
is wounded.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And maybe that's another way, if you believe in karma or entanglements, I'd probably
to have compassion, which sometimes is easier said than done.
Yeah. But if you can have compassion, that might actually untangle whatever entanglement is happening.
I like that. That's a gold nugget.
I always liked the little Buddha movie. It was a really good movie, but we're going kind of off track. It's not actually about a Buddha movie review.
That's karma.
It's about karma. So step 5 is defy your weaknesses. I question this one, but I understand it. I also understand it. When I first read defy your weakness, I'm thinking, but you want to identify it so you can overcome it. But I think that's what it meant. It's not to ignore your weaknesses. It's actually to identify your weakness and overcome your weakness. So let's say on a practical level, you might not think that you're strong in computer tech. That could be you feel like it's a weakness. So the best way to overcome it is to probably learn. And therefore you become a computer whiz. Identify your weakness and therefore grow and build on it so it becomes a strength.
I got given an old memory.
Oh, okay.
I was scared of swimming as a kid.
Oh.
Like scared of water.
Oh.
And I didn't know why. My mother said to me, when we were taking you for swimming lessons when you were a little kid, the instructor said just throw the kid into the water and he would just start to swim. Well, Jason didn't swim. He started to drown.
I don't know if any kid would actually just start to swim.
Well, this special lady, who I have very much compassion for, thought that I would swim. And I didn't. So I nearly drowned.
Okay.
So, talking about the weakness stuff, I became a very good swimmer as years went on.
That's cool.
Because I couldn't shower. I was scared of the water and stuff like that. So my father took me to, and I was a really bad asthmatic. And they said swimming is really good for asthma. But I became so good. I was timing my laps.
Wow, that's really good.
So I guess I overcame a weakness.
You defied a weakness.
Yeah, I nearly died in the pool.
Which is a trauma.
Yep. And my father, I think, jumped into the pool to save me.
Yep.
And then, it took me a long time, but I got to be a very, very good swimmer.
That is cool.
You just triggered that memory just then. I forgot all about that.
That is very cool. That's defying your weakness and making it a strength. Yeah.
Hey, yeah.
Yay!
Fun for me. Gold star for Jason.
Go, Jason. Okay, number 6. Take new action, which I guess is what you kind of did when you defied your weakness. You took action.
Yep.
Yeah.
I defied death, overcame it, and became a fantastic swimmer.
Yeah, absolutely. And then 7 is to forgive everyone.
I've done a lot of that over the years, and then I get new people to forgive.
Maybe they're the ones that you missed.
Or they're new ones.
Or they're ones that from another lifetime.
Yeah, you could just keep going, couldn't you?
And that is one of my other questions, is all this that we go through, is it just a loop to keep us in this game?
To keep us from not stepping
forward
or higher consciousness.
It kind of, if you're
interested, feels that way.
If you're interested, go check our Dark City review out, because that to me is very loopy. It's time looping. Number 7 is to forgive everyone as best as you can. Again, it comes back down to knowing who you are, healing yourself. And the reason why I am really processing this is because being a Scorpio star sign, we come along with a lot of baggage for unfortunate reasons. I don't actually understand why.
Or the script of that star sign comes with a lot of baggage. Yeah,
the script of the Scorpio star sign comes with a lot of baggage, a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, and the leveled up version, because every star sign has a leveled up version. The leveled up version for Scorpio is the Phoenix, which again is about transmuting, going through death, the rebirth, but transmuting all your stuff.
Yeah, going from the base metal lead and transforming to the gold.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is master of self.
Yeah.
Mastering self.
Yeah, exactly. With forgiving everyone, I guess it comes back down to yourself and how much pain you're still holding and what you're willing to let go of so you can actually forgive that person.
Which is, letting go of the baggage which you keep on hanging on to, which brings you down as a heavy weight.
Yeah, because the baggage is what helps that person stay the perceived version of being vindicated, which is the whole karma thing.
Oh, it's transformed into completely different things, hasn't it, this karma?
It has. It really has.
That's why I love our conversations, because it sort of goes from the base topic and then it just evolves into something else, like a bird that starts to fly high.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it.
Yeah, so do I.
Good work, baby.
Thanks, baby. Good work to you.
What's the next one?
That's it. There's only 7 steps.
I knew you were going to say that.
That's the 7 steps on what I got on how to remove your bad karma.
So the big highlight for me is compassion, being neutrality as much as you can, maybe seeing also yourself and the other person that's doing you harm and the wounds and trauma that they might have.
And I think that comes back down to compassion too.
Compassion as well.
Yeah.
I had to do a lot of that. I'm a Libran. So Librans, I believe, to speak for me, I have the ability to have it at times, not always, be able to be in the other person's shoes and have a feeling, understanding that they're wounded and they're traumatized and this is being a trigger for them, and they're not necessarily firing at me, just taking it out on me because I might be triggering something, but just by being me. Yeah. Which I can do a lot. Yeah. I can walk into a space and trigger people with my vibrational frequency. Yeah, you've witnessed that. It's not always great. No. That's a really interesting thing. So we need to be more compassionate with each other.
I think that's the biggest tip we can take from this is to be compassionate as best as we can. Step out of our own pain as best as we can. Yeah. To have an understanding.
Yeah, it's easier said than done.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Especially if it's like emotional pain. Yeah. You know, emotions run deep, and if you're really, really hurt, unfortunately, humanity wants to hurt back.
Especially if it's a really big thing you've gone through.
Yeah. And if we can, we have to be able to heal ourselves from that. And then by doing that, I feel we can have compassion for the others.
And sometimes I feel that life, the game, whatever it will, give us opportunities to do so. It's like, how far you want to level up? Let's give you a little test. You think you've conquered this, mastered this? Let's give you a little test to see how well you've done. And we've had that before too.
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't mean that you need to involve yourself in that person's life that hurt you. It literally means that you have compassion, you have an understanding for them, you disconnected from them.
You don't even have to see them.
You don't have to see them.
Or talk to them.
No, you don't have to do anything. Just have an understanding of the possibility, the reason that they hurt you could be because they actually hurt themselves.
And they're treating you like they're being treated.
Yeah. I love Uguay.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
He is.
Lots of wisdom.
Oh, absolutely.
Wisdom is another good one.
Yes, wisdom. He's a turtle. Turtles have wisdom.
I know. Who would have thought?
Turtles also carry the matrix on their back.
That's what they say. Okay, so can we wrap this up to a way which makes some sort of sense? Or people just need to just take out what's right for them, take out the gold nuggets?
I feel like people just need to do them. Do you, boo?
Do you, boo?
Do you believe whatever you want to believe? Because we're not here to tell you to believe in other things. We're just here to give you our perception of what we believe. And
until it changes, because we might
absolutely, because
next week go, we have a different epiphany on what we just spoke about.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for me it's more about you just do you and let everyone do them, being neutral, and let's all just get along.
That sounds pretty easy. Okay, let's just all do that. It will be fantastic.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we all just want to be loved.
That is true.
And appreciated.
That is true.
Respected and honoured. Yeah. But maybe you have to do that within yourself first before you can have that outside of you.
Yeah, cool.
They say that, I know you want to finish. We're going to keep going just for the moment. If you want to find a beautiful partner, you want to love them, stuff like that. You have to first start to learn to love you.
That is true. because I
If
was
you can't love yourself, how can you love another?
well, that is true. I was just going back to my experience with meeting you because, but then again, I guess on a level, I did love myself because I didn't want to be where I was. Not saying that I was with someone. I was actually single when we met. But I was in previous relationships where I can only put down to possibly script or possibly my soul, where I just knew that I had to get out for whatever reason. And it wasn't that they were just, it was hard or anything along those lines. It was just unfortunate that I knew that I had to leave, because if I didn't, we wouldn't be here.
So what I'm hearing is you felt worthy enough to say there must be something better out there for me.
Yeah.
So you felt you loved yourself, and you're worthy enough to say, I love this person, but it's not where I feel it's good for me. There's something better out there because I love myself a lot. Mm-hmm. And then, we happened along the way.
And I didn't think that I did love myself, but looking back on it now, I must have loved myself enough on a level to go, this where I was isn't working for me anymore.
Yeah, because if you didn't,
I would still be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gold star to Alison.
Gold star to me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fascinating stuff. All from a little word called karma.
Okay. Anything else you want to share?
No, that's good. No, it's another interesting topic,
Yeah.
and we're just sharing again.
Yeah.
As we say, we have these conversations anyway. We're just here just to share our conversations with everyone.
Yeah.
And we're not always right.
But it's just a conversation.
Yeah, we just want to just share it.
Just express our
because we always feel like there's little gold nuggets in what we talk about.
Yeah.
And why not share some of those gold nuggets with everyone?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. We greatly appreciate you guys listening to us and listening to the conversations. And actually, I do have people that do send us messages that say, love your conversations. It's okay to go off topic because it always comes back to what we're talking about. And it might actually be something that, other people might be thinking about as well. So thank you very much for tuning in to us. And
thank you for the people who subscribe.
Oh, yes.
And give us beautiful messages.
Yes, thank you.
And support us.
Yeah, thank you.
We really, really do really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Because we do put a lot of work into this.
Yeah.
And we're spending a whole day doing this.
Yeah.
And we want to put in as much effort to make it the best as we can, because we really feel honoured to be able to do this. And we really do hope that we can help along the way.
Yeah.
Even if it's just a little gold moment where people go, oh yes, that's excellent. Yeah, I'm going to take that on. And remember, you can watch us on the YouTube, which you're watching us on now, and
or you can
also
listen to us
on the podcast.
Yeah.
I like listening to us in the car.
Whoops.
And we shall see you. You will hear us
in the next one.
Love and blessings, everyone. Bye.
Bye.